Okay, the first row, please.
Vincent, you happy to practice your English as well? Is that okay?
Yes, very much so.
In which case, welcome back.
Thank you.
You were described, not you personally, but Bayern Munich were described by Brendan Rodgers as footballing royalty. How would you describe Celtic, and how dangerous is this first match for you? We know how difficult it will be for Celtic in Munich, but how difficult will it be for Munich here in Glasgow?
I think the club, obviously, both clubs stand, I think, very high in the tradition of the Champions League because of their achievements of the past. I think for myself, and I think I can imagine that it would be the same for Brendan. I mean, we're all here for the next piece of the history, if you like. So that's our job, that's our role, to try and achieve this next moment for our fans, for the people who are following our teams. And I think historically, anyone that has a little bit of a deeper understanding of football would understand the home record of Celtic in this competition. And it's not just recent. It's had a period with a little bit less, but I can remember, even in my time throughout my career, I can't remember Celtic losing at home in Europe. So it is a fortress. Why and how, and I think these things play out on the night, we'll see. But in the end, we give it the respect it deserves. But we also have a team who's geared to look forward to big games. So as long as we realize the magnitude of the game, I think there's nobody from our side that will treat this any different to any other top game, and with the sole ambition, of course, to win, because that's the pressure we have as well all the time.
Next one on the left side, yeah, please.
Hi, Vincent. You've played against Brendan Rodgers' teams many times in the past. What do you expect from his Celtic side tomorrow? How do you expect them to approach the game? Do you expect them to be on the front foot? And how much will your previous experience of playing against Brendan's sides help you?
Don't know. I think that the depth of analysis you go into as a coach is slightly different than as a player. The night before, as a player, you go to bed, you phone your wife, and you watch Netflix, and that's it. As a coach, I think I'm appreciating to a different level what all the other colleagues are doing. But in the time, I mean, in those days, what I can remember is it's a coincidence, but my last ever game at the Etihad for Man City was when Brendan was a coach. And I remember it was a must-win game for us, and we didn't have it all our way. And we had a very, very strong team. So already coming to the Etihad with, at that time, a Leicester team where obviously Man City would have been the favourites. They pressed us. They had possession as well, and made it difficult for us to recover the ball. And he's always within his squad design players in the front line with speed and 1v1 ability. He had it at Leicester. He had it at Liverpool, of course. And I'm seeing the same design over here. But then in the end, like I said, that's me talking about a colleague, but in reality, it's the players who have got to do the job tomorrow, and it's our players against his players, and they're the ones, they're the ones doing it on the night.
Machen wir noch 3 Fragen, bitte. Yes, please.
Vincent, I think the first time you played away from home as a player in the Champions League was actually here at Celtic Park for Anderlecht in 2003. What are your memories of that night?
And the second time away was Bayern Munich.
Oh.
Yeah.
What were your memories of that visit here to Celtic Park? And does this feel like a full circle moment, almost coming back here as a manager?
Full circle would have been if I came here towards the end of my career as a player. I think now as a coach, it's a different career, different players. But like I said, I remember it being a special night. And I don't want to drag too much nostalgia into it, but I think I was fortunate to play poorly, because I remember that Sir Alex Ferguson came to watch me that night. And if I would have played a good game, maybe he might have come in with a bid for me at the time. So I'm really happy that I ended up on the blue side of Manchester. But in the end, it's I was a young player, and that was the first experience for me. And I think later in your career, you sort of, like I said, look forward to these moments. If you can pick moments where you want to play and show your best football, it's those moments. It's obviously tough. That's why the home record is strong from Celtic. But that makes the appetite as well bigger to be in those games.
On the left side, yeah?
Vincent, do you see Arne Engels as the future of the Belgian national team, and how far do you think he can go at club level?
Oh, I can't make any statements for the national team. I think I'm always happy to see Belgian players do well. If I remember well, I think I've seen him even play in the youth teams for Bruges, because when I was in Anderlecht, I used to watch the youth team games a lot. And there was a couple of great talents on both sides, on Bruges side, but also on Anderlecht side. And it was always good to watch them and sort of imagine what their progression would be. I think he's 21 now. So he's in the right place. It's the right level. You get a taste of Champions League football. You get a taste of, must-win football in the league as well. I think for young players, sometimes as important as the talent is the pathway, and it doesn't always need to start with the top with the top clubs in the world. I think you start with top clubs in different leagues. That gives you that winning mentality. Then you progress if you're ready to progress. But he's got a good pathway, and many of the players from the Belgian generation that did well were actually at his age in similar places. So it's a good starting point for him.